In the vast, sun-drenched plains of Africa, a story unfolded that sounds like it was ripped from a movie script. But it's a chillingly true account of loyalty, loss, and vengeance in the animal kingdom. This is the story of two lion brothers born into the wild, whose bond was so strong that even death couldn't sever it. And it's the story of how one of them, driven by grief, sought a justice that the wild rarely sees. Our story begins in a sprawling national park, a sanctuary meant to protect Africa's most majestic creatures. Here, two male lions, let's call them Cecil and Jericho for the sake of our narrative, reigned supreme. They weren't just pride leaders. They were brothers, inseparable from birth. Together, they patrolled their territory, protected their pride, and shared every hunt, every victory. In every quiet moment under the acacia trees, their roars echoed in unison across the savannah, a powerful declaration of their shared rule and unbreakable bond. Wildlife researchers and guides who watched them for years spoke of their connection with awe. While male lions often formed coalitions, the bond between these two was something special. They were a perfect team. One was the brawn, the other the strategist. They moved as one, thought as one. Their life was a testament to the complex social structures and deep emotional ties that exist within the animal world. Something we humans are only just beginning to truly understand. But a shadow loomed over their kingdom, a threat more insidious than any rival lion or natural disaster: human greed. Poachers, operating under the cloak of darkness, saw these magnificent animals not as sentient beings but as trophies and commodities. They infiltrated the park, their eyes set on the ultimate prize. One fateful night, the harmony of the savannah was shattered by the sharp, unnatural crack of a rifle. The poachers had found their target. One of the brothers, lured away from the safety of the pride, fell victim to their cruel ambition. The poachers worked quickly, knowing the rangers would be on their trail. They committed their horrific act and vanished back into the shadows, leaving a devastating silence in their wake. When the sun rose, the surviving brother, Jericho, began his search. His calls, usually answered by a matching roar, were met with an eerie quiet. He paced the territory, his anxiety growing with every passing hour. Eventually, he found the place where his brother had fallen. The scent of fear, blood, and the alien smell of the human intruders hung heavy in the air. The evidence was undeniable. His brother was gone. The researchers who had observed them for so long noted a dramatic change in the surviving lion's behavior. He became restless, withdrawn. He lost interest in hunting, in patrolling, in everything that had once defined his existence. His mournful roars, now solo, carried a new, heart-wrenching tone of loss and despair. He was a king who had lost his other half, and his kingdom felt empty. The pride was vulnerable, and Jericho seemed lost in his grief. Meanwhile, the poachers, emboldened by their success, believed they had gotten away with it. They retreated to their nearby camp, a makeshift hideout just outside the park's boundaries, to celebrate their kill and prepare the trophy. They were arrogant, careless, underestimating the intelligence and emotional depth of the animal they had wronged. They had no idea that they hadn't just killed a lion. They had created an avenger. Driven by an instinct we can barely comprehend, a mix of grief, rage, and a primal need for justice, Jericho began to track the poachers. He picked up their scent from the site of the kill and followed it relentlessly. He wasn't hunting for food. This was different. This was personal. He moved with a stealth and determination that was terrifying to behold. A ghost in the tall grass, his golden eyes fixed on a single purpose. He followed the trail for miles, a journey fueled by sorrow. He crossed rivers and navigated treacherous terrain, his focus unwavering. The poachers, comfortable in their camp, had let their guard down. They were laughing, cooking, completely oblivious to the silent predator that was closing in on them. They believed they were the hunters, the apex predators in this land. They were about to learn a brutal lesson. Under the cover of a moonless night, the same darkness they had used for their own evil deed, Jericho arrived at the poachers' camp. The scene that followed was one of pure, primal fury. He didn't just attack. He unleashed all his pent-up rage and grief. The camp erupted into chaos and terror. The hunters became the hunted. When park rangers, alerted by the commotion, arrived on the scene, they were met with a sight of utter devastation. the camp was destroyed. And in the middle of it all stood the lion Jericho, his mission complete. He wasn't gloating. He was a silent, solemn figure. He looked at the rangers, and as they reported later, it was as if he was communicating that justice had been served. Then, as quietly as he had arrived, he turned and melted back into the African bush. This true story spread like wildfire through the local communities and among conservationists. It became a legend, a powerful reminder that these are not just animals. They feel, they grieve, and they remember. Jericho's act of vengeance was not just a random attack, it was a direct response to the loss of his brother. It challenges our perception of the animal kingdom and forces us to confront the consequences of our actions. The story of the avenging lion serves as a stark warning to poachers everywhere. It highlights the incredible emotional intelligence of creatures like lions and the deep bonds they form. It underscores the brutal reality of poaching and the devastating impact it has not just on individual animals, but on entire families and social structures. While we can never condone violence, it's impossible not to feel a sense of poetic justice in this incredible tale. It's a story that stays with you, a testament to a brother's love and a powerful, unforgettable act of wild justice. It reminds us that every action has a reaction, and in the heart of Africa, the spirit of the wild is a force that commands respect. Thank you so much for watching. If this story moved you, please hit that like button. Subscribe to our channel for more incredible true stories from the natural world, and share this video to spread awareness about the fight against poaching. See you next time.